What's the naughtiest thing you've done? I was bartending and told an older, not very attractive woman I'd go home with her if she tipped me well. I was 22. She was easily in her mid to late 40s and she tipped me and the other bartender $200. I did as promised. That's just being dirty with extra steps. I once left 2 buttons unbuttoned at the top of my shirt instead of just the regular one. Whoa. You probably shower naked, you dirty. In college, I was making out with a girl who I was friends with on the way back from the bar to her place. And I was planning on hooking up with her that night. Back at her house, there are about 10 of us hanging out, and I'm sitting on the couch with my arm around her shoulders. I get a text from one of the other girls who lives there, and who had gone to her computer to order Jimmy John's for everyone, that says, "Come upstairs." So I did. I walk into her room, she closes her laptop and says, "We have 15 minutes before Jimmy John's gets here." I said, "Okay." And we done the naughty. Cool, absolutely love that. I'm loving the confidence from these people, gang. Oosh. Met a chick from back in the AOL days at a public park. Was fricking her in the butt. I mean dropping back a foot. Ramming it. And she's loving it. It was around dusk, and off in the distance I notice a man about 30 to 40 yards away jacking it. So I stop. She starts asking why I stopped and reaching back trying to pull me back in, and I'm like, "There's some dude watching." And she goes, "It's okay. It's my husband. He likes to watch. Don't stop." I finished. Your husband? Yeah, get back in the house, love. I'm just busy at the minute. I'm occupied. Stop staring, you weirdo. Some people, eh? Met a guy on Tinder and invited him over 20 minutes later. He ended up leaving mid-naughty after admitting he had a girlfriend. Ugh, guys, what is wrong with you? You've got a girlfriend. Get out of there, you nutbag. When I was in college, I worked at a day spa and did massage. As a guy, I only massage women, but there was nothing I wouldn't do for a nice tip. Anything a woman asked me to do or directed my hand to do, I did. Anyway, a customer asked me about making a house call and offered me cash to make it. She was 60 plus and I was 20. The naughty part was that she offered me $30. So I done the naughties with the grandma for $30. Not my finest moment. Do you know, I always wondered what happened in massage parlours. And you've just answered my question, to be fair. Done the naughty with 2 of my exes on the same day and went home with someone else. Jeez, talk about greedy. Save some for the rest of us. Do you know what I mean, gang? Done the naughty with a girl after knowing her for only 15 minutes. She even gave me a fake name. Did butt naughties with a girl I met on Adult Friend Finder. Pics did not match. Still smashed anyway. My brain said abort, but my banana said stay. 3 out of 10 would not recommend. Ooh, you got catfished, mate. Not good. Just remember, the people commenting are not as hot as you think. One time, as I was picking up my food from the drive-thru, the wind blew something in my eye and I accidentally winked at the cashier. On a road trip matched with a girl on Tinder, stopped by her place and banged it out while my buddy waited in the car. Done the naughty with 7 guys at once at a bathhouse. You can't compete with this. No, you cannot. Trust me, no, you cannot. Hosted a swingers party with 6 couples. Done it with every woman at the party. Had a hookup with a girl from a pre-Facebook social media site. Later that same day, I had a trio planned with one of my best friends and a girlfriend that really wanted to get rimmed by 2 dudes. I felt really naughty. Succeeded a triple threat challenge. 3 dates in one night with the naughty. I was expecting failure. Would never do again. The amount of anxiety was not cool. At age 11, I got to 3rd base with the 16-year-old babysitter. Told my wife the story as an adult, and she was horrified that I was used by someone like that. 11-year-old me was freaking stoked. Still don't know how to feel about it. This probably also doubles as a life pro tip. What I do when the bartender cuts me off for being too drunk or running out of money is I camp out in the bathroom and give blows for drinks. I blow a guy and he's supposed to get me a drink. Granted, only usually a third of them follow through, but I still get a lot of drinks. My wife said we'd do the naughty if I did the dishes. Can't lie, I've used that one before. Wink, wink. Once let a hot girl climb onto my shoulders at a concert. She said I was a good friend for doing that. I done it in a car, in the high school parking lot, when I was an adult. We threw the used condom on the ground afterwards. I still feel guilty about that. Who wants to find a used condom when they get out of their car to go to school? Yeah, not me, love. Not me. My first time ever seeing bosoms was as a 14-year-old when my friend's 18-year-old hookup asked me to put my hands on them. We then awkwardly made out while he watched. I blew a dude for a bootleg DVD of Benjamin Button. I had a girlfriend who was into going out and finding another girl to go with us. One night we were in the city and met a pretty blonde girl who was down for it. We hopped over to a nearby rather glitzy hotel. As I was checking in, the woman at the counter asked, "Will there be 3 people in the room?" I follow her eyes back to the 2 women waiting in the lobby and said, "Unless we want to make it 4. She laughed nervously and showed up at the room at about 1 a.m. 3 guys in one night on New Year's Eve after I'd left my long-term ex on Christmas Eve. One of them had a girlfriend. Yeah, post-breakup naughties doesn't fix anything or feel good. Went to a Tinder date and spent the night at his place. On the first date. Luckily, he didn't kill me, and we're coming up to our 1-year anniversary in about a month. I went on here and asked questions and jerked off to the responses. I also have my friends post questions and then I watch them jerk off. Okay, I hope he's not listening to me reading these situations out and doing the same thing. Moving on. Sitting alone in a McDonald's at 3 a.m. in the morning because that's the kind of lonely guy I was. In comes a party chick in a tight mini dress and naughty makeup, walking barefoot with heels in her hands. She comes up and asks if I had any chicken nuggets. I reply no, but I'll buy her some if she wants. 30 minutes later, we're out back and she's got my D in her mouth, stopping occasionally to eat a chicken nugget. Ever had a BJ from a girl eating chicken nuggets? Feels weird, man. Good, but weird. She's one talented chick, let me tell you that. Had a trio with my now husband and an internet friend 3 hours into meeting said friend for the first time. Went abroad, matched a guy from Tinder, invited him to my Airbnb and slept with him all in the same day. Next day, did the same thing with another Tinder match. The day after that, slept with the first guy again. It was a good trip. I've been a civilian, I've enlisted, and I've been a federal worker. I just wanted to see how many different ways the government could frick me. After I left my husband, I was struggling to get by financially, and an older man in his 60s offered me $300 to do it with him. Despite the nearly 38-year difference in age, he was pretty handsome and I hadn't done the naughties in months, so I agreed. It was amazing, and I could afford rent that month. I fricked a lady in the butt raw who was cheating on her husband as revenge for his affairs and came inside her butt. Going outside to get the mail while lazily dressed in only my bra and panties. I'm mildly horrified about the way we used to talk to each other online, pre-about 1995. That was before anyone really realised that anything you put online might be forever. Done it with 3 different girls in 24 hours. Both of these are not me. Had a college roommate that would pull some butchish women, not my type. But it got to the point that once he came back with a girl, I knew what was going to happen and headed out to the couch. One time, he comes to the couch and whispers to me, "Don't worry, man." And I come in eventually. We had a bunk bed where I was at the top, and it was very obvious that he just straight up lied to me and stuff went down. He eventually kept apologising to me about it weeks after, and I was like, "It's fine, let's just not talk about it." Another college friend was bi, but as he got more drunk, he leaned more towards the gay side. At a party, he came to the party with a girl, but eventually got drunk, was like getting blown or something in the bathroom, and then left the party with a guy. Felt a bit bad for the girl, but she ended up sleeping with some other person after the party as well. I stole a housemate's Tinder date, got drunk, and slept with her. Only time I've regretted sleeping with someone. Core, absolute snake. My record is 10 guys in one day. I was travelling alone, and that particular day the weather was really crappy and I didn't feel like going out. I hook on the side, trying to pay down a mountain of debt. But it's not my main job. Let a guy I've known for about 20 minutes lick my naughty. Dressed as a girl and sold my butt to a gay man for rent money. Happened several times. Had naughties activity with 4 different friends in a 5-day run. One person, a gay friend, on 2 different days that week. I was single at the time. Ex-girlfriend gave me 9 BJs in about a 7-hour period. I was sore for 2 weeks. Was on an internship in Germany and went to a rural part north of Munich that a female friend invited me to. It was a barn festival with about 100 locals, including the girl that brought me, myself and a random cute blonde Austrian girl. Names got tossed around, I forget all of them. While completely wasted on wheat beer, I walked with the Austrian girl around the perimeter of town. Made it about 2 blocks before making out with her in some random person's driveway. This soon progressed to the point where I was, exploring the area between her thighs with both our pants around our ankles, trying to get it on in the middle of a stone driveway. You'd think it would have a happy ending, but like a sitcom, the owners pulled in the driveway just as we were about to perform and honked their horn. I didn't speak German. They didn't speak English. We awkwardly put our clothes on and wandered off where I promptly threw up behind a van. Then I lost her and never saw her again, or even remembered her name to ask about her. Shame, because we really hit it off before the alcohol hit me. Set up a naughty party for my friend's birthday. Unfortunately, he got sick right before, so it would have been no fun for anyone. But everyone was already there, and it would have been pretty rude to ask them all to leave. So I fricked 6 co-workers, and 4 were at the same time. My family, including my ex, went on a driving trip to a city that was like 3 hours away. My Catholic family went to see Mass at this giant touristy church, and my ex and I decided to go wait in his car in the church parking lot. Out of boredom, we decided to do it doggy style on the back seats while it poured with rain outside. My family showed up 5 minutes later. While I was working at Renaissance Fair, F24 18 back then, I had to flirt a lot to make sales. I was flirting with this lady, 25-ish, and she said she would buy something from me for a kiss. I leaned over the counter and kissed her. She then bought $600 worth of pewter. Each thing was $150 to $300 from me. I once slept with a girl that I wasn't really that into because I was out of cigarettes and knew she both had cigarettes and loved smoking after naughty. Was with my boyfriend at a bar. He was talking to 2 guys who I thought were pretty cute. One of them called me hot. My boyfriend told them that my kitty was the prettiest part about me, and I was super tight too. One thing led to another, and they were paying my boyfriend $20 each to see just how tight I was. So we went to a booth, and each guy got to pull my skirt up, pull my panties to the side, and fiddle. It didn't even really hit me until we were walking home just how bad it was to have 2 complete strangers fiddle with me in public for money. Over the course of a year, I'd done the naughty with a girl, had a one-night stand with her mum, then done the naughties with the first girl and her sister in a trio, then kept fricking each sister separately for another 6 months. Not just bad, but scummy. I was a scummy person 25 years ago. Okay, wow, I couldn't even keep up then. Went to a glory hole, busted in 5 minutes. On the way home, a girl I was talking to from Bumble hit me up on Snapchat and invited me over. Went home, showered, had a beer, went to her place and fricked her. One time while my college dorm mate was away for the weekend, I fricked a girl in his bed. I didn't mean to. We were just using it as a couch to watch a movie when she started touching me. Washed everything on the bed twice and put it back immediately after. The next day, he yelled at me for an hour because the comforter was pushed to the end of the bed. I don't want to imagine what would have happened if he knew everything that happened there. Still feel bad about that. Definitely one of the grosser things I've done. The Eiffel Tower. I was the one in the middle. Went to a strip club with a couple friends on one of their 21st birthdays. I'm getting a lap dance, which turned into 3 songs. And I mentioned something along the lines of, I'm broke and I don't think I can get any more dances. She said, just pay me whatever you can, or something to that effect. 1 or 2 songs later, she says, I really want to freak you. I replied, I really want to freak you too. She reaches into my basketball shorts. Yeah, I'm a classy gentleman club attendee. Pulls out my D, moves her panties to the side, and slides it inside. I'd been drinking, but I was not drunk. Immediately following the thought of how good that felt were thoughts of being inside of a stripper without a condom. Also the fact that we really were not very hidden at all. This was on a couch along a back wall. It was very dark, but still, people were walking past occasionally and sitting nearby. It was pretty uncomfortable, but a huge turn on at the same time. I got tested the following Monday, and again a year later because they said it might be too early to test for some things. For a few weeks, every time I peed, any sort of abnormality would freak me out. Thanks for the gold. I'm glad my naughty behaviour could bring some joy to all of you bad lovers. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos coming daily.